Welcome back to Underway Drifting and Dreaming. I'm Jennifer. My husband Jim and I are on an adventure of a lifetime, the America's Great Loop. We're traveling on a 48-foot Kadey Krogen Whaleback, and here we're traveling through Mobile to the Black Warrior River, hoping to get to Demopolis, Alabama. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Demopolis had received over 4 inches of rain the day that we were heading up, and we needed to turn around. They had a huge wall of water coming down the river, and it was going 7 knots, and that carries a lot of debris. So we turned around and headed back to Dog River to the Grand Mariner's Restaurant and Marina, which we got to spend a whole week. While we were there, we met the owners of the Tortuga Blanca and decided that we would go up the river again. During the week, we experienced many severe thunderstorms. Here was the first night we were back, and it was as dark as could be. While at the dock, we had sustained winds of 46 knots, and it looked like a raging ocean outside the window. This trawler left almost about 50 minutes ago, and it's a mile out to the ship channel, the Mobile ship channel, and she's coming back in. It must have been miserable. The winds were like 40 knots. The sailboat over here was sideways to the dock. Right there, scatterbound the wind. I don't know if she's waiting to tie back up. The storm's almost passing, about another 20 minutes. But the 40-knot winds are gone. I mean, you can hear it howling. It's probably about 25 right now. Good morning. It's 06:15, and we're taking off extra lines here in the boat. She's running. All the engine checks have been done last night, watered, and we are ready to hit the river. So it's been a full week. See Jim down here with the shore tie. So I have to say, these pilings are in great shape. Our boat never moved. We're in 46 knot winds. I can't even get that to jiggle. So very safe dock. In the summertime, I'm not sure about north wind. Join us for the next 4 days as we travel up through Mobile to the Black Warrior River. We had thunderstorms every single day. So thankful, not at night. So it's about a mile out to the ship channel, and well, off we go. If you want to know more about the Great Loop or the America's Great Loop Cruisers Association as a social networking, check out the description below. Enjoy the rest of our video. Here we are heading north. You can see 2 boats right there behind the SS United States. She was built in 1950. She's in Mobile. They're going to start taking a few things off her to be turned into an artificial reef. But this is YouTube Fox News 10 downtown Mobile. Check out this change at the shipbreaking facility here in Mobile. I love seeing the difference from one week to the next. It's truly amazing. So there's some big debris up here. We did hit something. I ran down, and you know, the first thing I look at is the shaft and the bilges. We have our first bridge, a railroad bridge. It is in a up position. Jim's called them, so we'll continue to cruise on through. So we're making way about 5 knots. Usually at this RPM we should be running 7. duration it took us to pass a tow. He was going 4.5 and we were going between 5 and 5.5. He's 3 wide. It's getting dark behind us again. You can hear the thunder. About an hour outside of the anchorage. That's a pretty big pile there. We're coming up to Mount Vernon. Our first boat for the day, out fishing, 5:30 a.m. So there's just this little bug I saw that was dark, a beetle. I don't know how the heck he got here. That's hilarious. Ugh. What an amazing anchorage. It was beautiful. It was dark. I think there was only one bass boat that came through this morning. Here we have Tortuga Blanca leading us out and looking forward to a fabulous day on the Black Warrior River. Why are we meandering down the river instead of going from point A to point B?
River meanders.
Wouldn't it be easier to just portage like a canoe?
They need to dig a ditch right there.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, it gets worse.
Look at all those loop-de-loos.
That's the worst one right there.
Oh my goodness.
Alabama.
Alright, I see civilization. I see a building up here. This is the first civilization that we've seen today. Been underway for about 2 hours. Huge riverside factory. Cranes are working, tugs are working. There's some more barges up here. Alright.
Horseshoe Bend, Newman Bend. We're going west, south.
I'm so confused. I look at this one.
We're doing a big circle. You could have gotten your steps in. I could have dropped you there and walked across, picked you up, walked across again.
I'll skip that. But in this little area, you can come drive out here and there's like farming stuff over here. Or maybe it's in the circle. I'm not sure which one.
You see them cutting the corners and staying inside the current. It's getting me about a knot better than out there where the water is. See, it's down inside dams. We've got 24 feet of water.
And we're right there against the...
You can get in a little bit better and you can see our speed will go up just a little bit. So 5.4, 5. And then as we come back, I'll jump on the other side.
I think I can open the door. It stopped raining.
See how high the water was on the trees? About 6 feet.
I don't think I can see that on the camera. Let me zoom in. So the water, you can see the dark spot on the trees. And the river is coming up again. It's just from all the rain. Up in Tennessee, top of Alabama, North Alabama, I should say the top. It's chilly out here. Jim's just been hugging the shore, trying to get a few extra knots out. We have sandy banks on the other side of the river. Looks like we're going to have a beautiful sunset here. We do have a thunderstorm coming in. We're on the far side of the river. So haven't seen any debris. I've been out here for about 15 minutes. But let's see if you can see the current on the bridle there. So we are not using a stern anchor. And in 20 feet of water, usually we like to anchor in 10, but if we were in 10, we'd be right on the tree line. So let's go ahead and look at the current on the river. Not seeing much debris right now. Coffeeville Lock is about 10 or 12 miles to the north of us. River miles. A little bit of fog. Our buddy boat had so Jim had the blue lights on last night, and of course the anchor light. It was gorgeous out here in the middle of the night, just stars. It's dark. All right, so I have come up here at 6:10. We just talked to Tortuga Blanca, who's behind us, our buddy boat. So I have hooked up the hose, so I have fresh water here. And the day shape was taken down last night. I'm gonna go up here and grab this little torch. So just an extra light to have on the boat. We didn't have one tug pass by last year when we were here. We had tugs passing all night long. All right, so that's where put a flag, but for me, I cannot see over it while I'm at the helm, and that's bothersome to see a flag flapping in front of me. So our AGLCA flag, our Great Loop flag goes up there. We took it down the other day in the rainstorm. Texas flag stands. So you want to make sure you close all these cupboards. You don't want to be tripping over anything. I just tripped over the hose there. So I'm going to bring this back, put down the phone, and bring in the ankle bridle that will allow Jim to get his coffee and be back up on deck to help. So I'm going to put this in here. If you're traveling through the Trent Severn, get yourself one of these fuzzy little spider things. Great for wiping down spider webs. You'll truly need it. I know some people spray their lines with spider and bug killer, but we've just found having that to wipe down the spider webs, because you will. I'm telling you. I think we had spiders from Canada all the way down to lower Michigan until we got them all off the boat. I am ready for the Coffeeville lock. I'll go ahead and turn around, and you can see we're approaching the dam. Here it is, just around the corner. Now, when we came down in November, the water was much lower. The water is very high. We are in a flood warning right now. We're gonna make a steadfast pace to Demopolis. We have to be in by Thursday evening because that flood goes in effect on Friday morning. So we are hustling at 5 knots. Jim has figured out riding on the side of the channel, getting into an area with no debris and a little bit less current, so we can pick up an extra half a knot. We are traveling with another boat, a buddy boat, the Tortuga Blanca, and we've learned so much from them. So we are excited to continue to run this river and get into Demopolis in 2 days. So here's our first lock since we went through here, I guess it was mid-November was the last time we went. I know that we were at Veterans Day when we were in Demopolis of 2024, and so I think that's a 2-day. Oh, I'm just looking at the water coming out. I'm just kind of speechless seeing how much water's flowing out of the dam. Good grief. Looks like the rapids. We're coming into some debris. They said they should have the gates open for us once we get there. I'm pointing out to him for if there's a log, he sees it. That's the log that I saw right there. There's also one over here to the left. The water is boiling, so a lot of current. So we're just going to stay here to the west bank, and you can see the bow of the boat going back and forth, and we're rocking a little bit. Just the current is crazy. Alright, we see the lock getting closer. We had to wait for a whole week. We had to wait in Mobile, down below Mobile, so we could travel this river. Unfortunately, they had more rain up north, which is causing a lot of volume to come down. Oh my goodness. So I'm hoping once we get on the other side, they have a little bit of a pool going between, it's 100 miles to Demopolis. I don't know if they're able to see that current. Jim's avoiding another log. He's going a little bit to the east. And it looks like we can boogie right on through that open lock. So let's go ahead and switch over to fast forward motion. Wow, are you seeing those rapids and the current going into the lock? Now watch these birds. They sit on the lock doors eating and catching the fish that when the water rises and lowers, there's fish that get caught in there. So they're just taking advantage of the opportunity. And as soon as we go out, there's 2 alligators and an eagle flying. That was pretty cool. Here we have Bobby's Fish Camp. This is a great place to stop if you need a safe area on the river. If you do not feel comfortable anchoring, it is quite expensive. They do have fuel. There isn't any stores anywhere around. Nowhere really to walk through to, except it's about a quarter mile from the river to the main road. Nothing in between. But like I said, it is a safe place to be if you're not comfortable with anchoring. Here you can see how the river is rising. It's coming up. I've been seeing a lot of alligators. And I know we're going to see alligators all the way up through Kentucky. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? There's a bird floating down the river on a log. This is the second time. I guess it's a good fishing spot for him. It's our second rainstorm of the day. So about 10 more minutes, we'll get some heavy rain.
So that's our radar here. We're on the river, so we're just picking up the trees right now. So this is that cell. This is weather radar, which is always a couple minutes behind. So you can see we're at the dot. So here's this cell. We're going to turn away from it just due to where the river is. So we're hoping, how it's projected, it's working a little northeast. We'll probably get the tail end of it. But it's nice to have, and that's definitely, those tops are probably 40,000 feet. So we're going to zoom in here. So we've got a boat coming down, which actually I just lost on AIS. He's right about here. Towboat. So we'll get on this straight away and we'll pick him up. As you can see, we're staying right on the edge here. We're doing 5.6. Earlier today we were doing about 6 plus on these edges. All the driftwood is out in the main channel, a lot of logs and stuff like that. So you see one coming up here. So we're kind of in that sweet spot of getting better speed over ground. And this river goes right up to the bank, so we're in 21 feet of water. You got to be careful of any deadheads or any trees that have come down and get snagged. So I'm trying to stay 20 feet, and then some of the areas where it's straight away will come up to 10 feet and get real close to the edge. So right here, 5.6, 5.8. It'll slow down a little bit because now the water's flowing straight down this channel. So we try to always stay on the inside bend as the water flows around the bend. So we'll probably drop here. And it's neat too, you can see the bubbling of the water ahead of us, and our temperature is actually working. It's the first time it's worked in a year. I think it knows we're going to switch out the transducer, so it's finally worked. So as you can see the bubbling water coming up, as the water is flowing, you'll see the inversion of the temperature. It'll come up a degree or two. It's 76.5 right now. Here's some bubbling here. That could be also the current. But what I've been seeing is that the temperature will go up. I've seen some go up to 79. So this may just be more of a current, not a inversion. So it's come up a little bit. I was watching that earlier and I thought that was kind of neat how you see the eddies, or I call it a boil in the water. This is all just kind of churning around, and we'll pick up our speed too at the last second here. We'll get another 0.2 knots or so. If the water's coming around, I think it spins and will actually push us a little bit. So 6.1, 6.2, and then we'll get on the straightaway and we'll probably drop down to 5 knots. Here comes the wind. The storm passes us by. Fun stuff.
6, 7, 9, 12, 14.
Yeah, it's hard to read it up the light.
Yeah, I can see it. 12.5, 11.
Here's our other boat here coming down. Now he's back up on AIS. So this weather probably is causing some of the intermittent.
I know the Starlink was responding slowly. All right, let me go shut these windows.
Yep.
Rhett Parker with 2 loaded fuel barges to get through that bridge. Man, it was tough for us. And he's going down. He's going to use a lot of power. There he goes. Taking a run. Still looking for anchorage, just too deep here along the sides of the bank. So we're going to continue to go up and try to find a little hole on the side of the bank. Look at this pretty anchorage. Gonna go right here along the side. What mile are we at? 178? 178. I hear a train. If I come to this side of the boat, I'm really hearing goats, but looking on the map, there's no farmland over there, no houses. Jim thinks it's insects. I think it's goats. again, Jim?
So here's a great example of running fast water here. You can see our buddy boat way up against the bank here, same as us. We're making 6.4 knots though. The river is really flowing. So if we were in the middle, we'd probably be doing maybe 4.5 knots. And also, most of the drift, logs and debris coming down the river are going to stay in the center of the channel. You can see we're 32 feet of water and we're right next to these trees, so it's a really good...
You're running on the beach.
Yeah, basically running on the beach, but you can see our speed is staying up high. You can see the whole river up here, and like I say, our buddy boat's right up against the edge. It's the only way really to run these with slow boats, even fast boats, you're running up the middle, you've got all the logs to worry about. You got that extra 2-3 knots of current pushing against you. You can see the water kind of swirls, I call it boiling up here, but say we're in these little eddies that sometimes spin. Helps reduce.
Let me reach out to the other door so we can see some eddies on this side. So you can see the current in the water. A little boiling. But sometimes we'll see rapids there in the middle, and we're talking right here, it's about 30 feet deep. Out there, it's much deeper. So just some debris coming down the river. All right, I got my steps in. We are coming up to the Demopolis lock. Tomorrow they're going to be letting over a wall of water. You can see the dam. It's flowing. It looks like a waterfall. And I need to go get the line rigged up. I already have the fenders over. And so enjoy. Those last few clips were from Jim going into the lock from his point of view. Here we're coming into the lock. Those lock doors will close behind us as soon as we tell them that we're secured. This is time-lapse, so it does take a little bit of time for that chamber to fill up with water. Once they sound the horn or they tell us we can go, we take the line off and head out. Thank you for cruising along with us to Demopolis. We really appreciate you following our journey on the America's Great Loop. It is time to say farewell to the Tortuga Blanca. It is a bittersweet moment. They have their own adventure waiting for them upriver on the Tennessee, and then they will continue with the America's Great Loop journey coming down in the fall. It's always sad to say farewell, and we hope to cross paths with them on the Tennessee River. Buddy boats are so important for that fellowship, morale, and the safety traveling the river. We have been very fortunate to have traveled with some really great boaters, made friends, and enjoyed their time on the river. Again, if you would like more information on the America's Great Loop, check out the description, and I will put a video up here for you to enjoy. Let's all wave goodbye to Tortuga Blanca. All right, even now I'm getting emotional saying goodbye. So friendships are very important. So farewell and following seas, and up the river they go.